This year's Australian Open had $96.5 million in its total prize pool. First off, that number was up too from last year in 2024. It was up nearly 12%. So this year's players took home a little bit extra cash than they did last year. Who were your top earners? That's what we're going through here today. As you guys could probably guess, it is your champions, Madison Keys and Jannik Sinner, that take home the most money, and rightfully so as the champions. They each made $3.5 million off of this year's Australian Open. And I just want to say, too, want to give Madison Keys just one little shout out here before we move along. Keys, that was such a great story, seeing her win her first major championship, doing so the hard way, going through that hard road. So congratulations to her. Also, too, of course, congratulations to Jannik Sinner, the back-to-back Australian Open champ now, the world #1, and a guy that looks like he's going to be very hard to stop here in 2025. Now let's move along here. Obviously, the finalists, they're next with the most amount of money. This year's finalist, Aryna, Sabalenka, and Alexander Zverev, who also had very good tournaments. They go home just shy of $2 million. Their total, they go home with $1.9 million. Then, of course, after those are going to be your semifinalists, who also are millionaires off of this tournament. They go home with some nice money there, $1.1 million. And of course, those semifinals, Iga Swiatek, Paula, Badosa, Ben Shelton, and Novak Djokovic. And then, of course, guys, the quarterfinalists are next. And there's a few big names out there for this year's quarterfinals, right? Coco Gauff made it to the quarters. Carlos Alcaraz made it to the corners. Then also you had some other big names like Tommy Paul, Elina, Svitolina, Emma Navarro. All of them making a total of $665,000. So those are kind of the real big earners from this year's Australian Open. Of course, there were other payouts. Just to give you guys kind of a bit of what you're looking at, anybody from round 1 through round 4, they made anywhere from $132,000 to $420,000. So I have the full breakdown actually in the description of this video, which came right from the Australian Open's website. So feel free to check that out. And I also just wanted to mention too, guys, like, this video was just based off of the total prize money, right? It wasn't counting endorsements. I could just tell you, being an American, whenever football comes on Sundays, there's always that New Balance commercial playing that Coco Gauff is in. I'm sure she got a nice pretty penny for that one. So the endorsements not included in this video. This was just the prize money from this year's Australian Open. Again, your top earners, of course, your champions, Jannik Sinner, Madison Keys, both taking home $3.5 million.